We took a week off, we recharged our batteries, and we came back to watch wrestling in one of the lowest rated wrestling weeks in fucking WWE non-holiday, non-football competition history. Basically, we don't know why the fuck we came back, but we did come back for one thing specifically. This Dark Side of the Ring docuseries that they have going on Viceland. We highly suggest you check out. We're going to get into some of the Bruiser Brody talk and everything more with this Money in the Bank build-up, some AEW news, John fucking Moxley? What? We'll get into all this and more this week as we...
Are you ready? No! I said, are you ready? Break it down! Woo! You just made the list! Oh, I knew he was gonna do that. I just knew he was gonna do that. He don't need Janetti. You don't know what hard times are, Daddy. Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass. The cream praise to the top, oh yeah. It's the man with the rock in cooking. Bullet Club for life, goodbye, and good night. They got the answers. I change the questions.
Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
You are listening to the most inappropriate pro wrestling podcast in the motherfucking world.
Catch the bloopers later on Periscope.
You're listening to Breaking Down the Ring. We are your Crow.
Smitty, wait. Nick. Sorry.
Close. Close.
The whole fucking Joe. Maybe I'm Z. I don't know.
And me, your Ring Crew champion, Orlando Christopher. Oh, no, wrong, Mikey, the almighty one. Leave me alone, midget stripper. God damn it. I'm going to be really mad at the midget stripper leaving when I lose this title, because I know I'm going to lose it. But when I lose it, I can't say, your Ring Crew champion, the almighty one, Mikey. And then Nick's not going to go, boo. And I'm not going to be like, leave me alone, midget stripper, because the midget stripper, I think she's a good part of the show.
That fat ass.
And arms.
And her fingers look like little sausages.
Daddy, would you
They're
like
so
some sausage?
wee.
My God. L. Man, so we took a week off, boys. And we took a week off basically on the account that I was doing a Marvel movie marathon. And now both Z and Nick said they could run the board, and I said no. I was like, you know what? Yeah. Then 2 weeks ago, the show before the show I was gonna take a break on, shit just goes bad. Kind of like it just no microphone sound was coming through. You couldn't listen through the app, which you can now. I could see everything going and stuff like that. But I had to contact the guy who runs the studio, and he had to over the phone take care of it. And I just was like, I was so out of sorts from that I didn't want to make any other problems for anyone else. So I just said, you know what, fuck it, let's just take a week off.
Fuck it.
Now, was that any more or less miserable to deal with than Raw or Smackdown this week? Or last week?
Was what? The Marvel movie marathon?
No. The technical difficulties you were having 2 weeks ago.
It wasn't that bad.
I was trying to segue, damn it.
Yeah,
It didn't
so
fucking work.
Well, no, because it wasn't that bad. And yes, I'm saying it wasn't as bad as trying to watch Raw or SmackDown, which, look, man, Raw, the last 2 weeks has hit record low ratings for a non-holiday, non-Monday Night Football episode. Last week's show was a 2.37 million overall. This week's was a 2.16 million overall, with the third hour not even having 2 million people watch it. And there's some people that are saying, well, there was an NBA playoff game and so on and so forth. Next week is a bigger game. Raw better do something. But even so, Seth Rollins and AJ Styles contract signing, right? You got them both on. At least someone would tune in for that.
No.
Like the end. And you're right.
I'm so sick of contract signings. I think everybody
For real.
is.
Yeah.
Everything gets a contract signing. And like the thing I liked about the Daniel Bryan, Kofi Kingston one, no, they didn't end up fighting.
Right.
Like, I was like, okay, I like that because I haven't seen that in a while. Like, something always fucking happens.
And it's like a wedding, where Chuck and Billy are like, oh, hey, we're not gay. There's always some sort of, like Kane coming out of the ring. There's always a problem with the wedding. Triple H, raping a passed out Stephanie McMahon.
They got kids now. It's fine.
She loves it. I do. In that Mustang, like, wow. So there's always something going wrong. There's always something going on. And that's a problem. That's when your show is becoming incredibly repetitive, people are going to start tuning out. And I understand that WWE is repetitive because the WWE is family friendly to an extent. And that's why there's so much hype about AEW or when New Japan comes into town, because everyone's like, oh, something different and different way of wrestling and things like that. But it doesn't change the fact that there's a reason that you watch New Japan once or twice a month. There's a reason you watch Ring of Honor once or twice a month, because even the same thing would get old. WWE is putting on 2 shows that look the exact same minus the color of the ropes, doing the exact same thing with just different interchangeable pieces.
Yes.
And
very, what's that word? Formulaic.
yeah, and that's a problem. You don't want.
I said that correctly.
Yeah, formulaic.
That's very good.
I'm really proud
Very
of you.
good.
I'm good with words today.
No, but okay, if you want to believe that. But SmackDown, so then when I say that, it doesn't surprise anyone that even the SmackDown numbers are low. This week's SmackDown Live averaged 1.833 million.
This was the first time ever that Raw literally made me not want to watch SmackDown. Like, because the minute they started out the same, I was done with it. I literally fell asleep. And when I woke up, I was like, I'll just read the Cliff Notes.
And that's the thing, because you're right. Each show usually starts off with a fucking promo that leads into a match.
Yep.
We're kind of over that,
I pumped through it in about an hour before I came here. SmackDown.
Yeah, because there's nothing really much going on of
Like
anything
fast
big.
forward.
Yeah.
Well, and then the other thing, like, everyone, like, everything I've read on the internet was bitching about how much talking they were doing instead of wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of just, hey, here are your 4 opponents, or here are our 4 people for the ladder match, why not do like 4 matches for people to qualify? I mean, it's more wrestling, and then it's more of a storyline of how they got into the match instead of, oh, we just put you here.
Right.
And I mean, and then they went and did the same thing on SmackDown. Like, SmackDown saw how bad Raw was, and they didn't think to like switch it up a little bit, at least slightly.
Not even with the women. I mean, nobody. They're just like, here they are.
Yeah. I mean, the women, on SmackDown, it was more of a slow build. It wasn't everybody at once. By the end of the show, you knew, which, okay, I like that's a little different. But I don't know. Like, I just feel like they talk about like earning opportunities or something, so they should like storyline make each one of these individuals earn their way in.
Especially when it comes to the SmackDown side, because like you said, people are just being announced, and yet SmackDown was built as the land of opportunity.
Yep.
And there's a lot of people who are also bitching that Shane McMahon's on both shows. And it's like, well, look, they said in December the McMahon family runs it. Shane was the person that they put out on the fucking episode this week. Yes, he's on Raw and SmackDown. Get it out of your head that he's SmackDown only. He's not.
He's a McMahon. He's both shows.
Yeah. Yep. But people are complaining about it, and it's like, I get it, but he's allowed to continue this feud with Miz on Raw because he runs both shows. It's not just SmackDown. And there are certain bitches that I go, come on, really? And then there's other ones where I'm like, yeah, you're fucking right.
Yeah.
There's people that are bitching about Bray Wyatt's new gimmick, which last week was kind of funny. Had its little moments and everything. This week, I think I popped harder at sociopath being the word of the week,
Yep.
you know, than anything else that was going on in it.
Well, it's now
And the burning person inside the barn.
yeah, like so, I mean, I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to do the whole I forget what he went by when he did it, but when Abyss was in like towards the end of his Impact career, he did that whole like corporate Kane demon kind of thing, but he was Abyss, and then he had an actual human name. It was very generic.
Oh, yeah, he was a lawyer or something like that.
Yeah, and he had the
Yeah.
tied back ponytail with the glasses and everything. And he looked like a completely different person. Where I think that's where they're going with this gimmick. But I just hope they fix the things that made it go wrong for Abyss. You know what I mean? Like it had good potential, and then it tailed off in the end. And I'm already getting sick of the Bray Wyatt thing.
What are your thoughts on the Bray Wyatt thing, Nate?
I'm ready for him to come back. Like, literally come back. Let's bring that show to the ring. Yeah. You know?
Do you want to see that in the ring?
Or on stage. Have a couple people, like, have a little section where, like, people are back there, like, as little puppets, and then beat the fucking shit out of them. No, but I'm ready for that. That's cool. 2 episodes of that. Now let's bring him back.
Mm-hmm. And well, the other problem with that is they're fucking showing it on Raw and SmackDown, so you're seeing it the same thing twice a week,
right?
And it's not. And then they're like, "Oh, you can check it out on the YouTube." Okay, so cool. So you have it on the YouTube, but you're just showing it like crazy, you know? It's you're burying something before you have let it chance to grow.
What they should do, if you're gonna play it on both shows, don't play the same exact fucking one.
Right.
On Tuesday.
Yep.
What you should have done is the first one last week should have played on Raw, and then this one played on SmackDown. So going into this week, you finally know all these characters he keeps introducing for no fucking reason. But you know what I mean? Like that, it builds to the story. Whereas you watch Raw, and then you watch it again on SmackDown, and it kills 2 minutes of the show, but it gets boring real quick.
And some of it's working. It's a little creepy when he's standing there laughing with that chainsaw and that happy smile on his face. Like, that's working.
Yeah.
You know, but there's other aspects. I'm just like,
Which is also fine because then you figure out what works, you go with what works. But again, if you overwater a plant, it's not going to grow.
It dies.
And yeah, it drowns. It's fucking deal with all this dumb shit. And that's what they found something new that kind of popped right at the beginning. Like last week, you know.
Well, last week caught me off guard too because I thought they were going into a commercial. Like it literally just cut away and went to, and I was like, oh, and I started doing something, and I looked up, and there was Bray on the TV, and I was like, wait a minute, I got to rewind this. I got to see what this is. Yeah. But, I mean, and then this week, they were just like, oh, here's some weird shit to watch.
Yeah. And that's a problem, you know, and that's like WWE's wondering why they're losing ratings. There you fucking go. Right there. You're doing it to yourself. But again, we go back to the consistency thing, right? So now it's on both shows. Bray Wyatt is on Raw and SmackDown. But these are separate brands, allegedly. And then you just have people show up that weren't mentioned in a Superstar Shakeup, a.k.a. Gallows and Anderson this week, and the fucking B-Team on SmackDown this week. They weren't announced, so all of a sudden now they're there. Like, you're expecting people to follow a product you're not giving. There's no leash on at all. Like, it's I can't follow something when I don't know where it's been.
I think what happened, and this is why it's so fucked up right now, is so they had the Superstar Shakeup, and that night for Raw, they had really bad weather, so people couldn't get into Montreal. So they were down to like a fifth of their roster or whatever. So they had to like rewrite on the fly, and I think they went off direction with that, but then just continued forward with what was written for every other week. So guys like maybe the B team weren't in Montreal to be like, oh, they're on Raw now, and then they're too dumb to be like, after the fact, be like, okay, these people are drafted here, these people are drafted there.
Right. But and that's the thing is they did do that. They did post on their
But then they changed it every 5 fucking minutes.
But that's what I'm saying. Like I understand that you had a show to work with because of weather, and it fucked you. But then the next night you didn't have any weather problems. But the B team weren't announced for SmackDown. As a matter of fact, Aleister Black was announced as Raw, and then next week he was on fucking SmackDown. You know, same with Andrade.
Yeah.
And it's. I equate it to. I really thought about this, and I was like, man, what when you can't follow something, what it's like, and it's like if you're walking in the desert in a sandstorm, right? You're trying to follow somebody in a sandstorm. Well, if they get too far ahead of you, you're lost because there is no tracks. Same thing, or following someone in a blizzard. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no tracks, there's nothing there. You're just going, well, what the fuck am I supposed to do now? And you can't pay attention. And if you can't pay attention, sure as shit, you're going to tune the fuck out. And it's happening over and over and over. Week by week, WWE is losing more and more viewers. And I'm sitting back going, yeah, I understand it. It's not so much that the product sucks. I mean, look, the product is not great, right? But it's been worse.
The in-ring hasn't been that bad. It's just all the segments and shit.
It's been worse. I think that the WWE product has been worse, but it had better viewers.
Yeah, but with the shakeup and stuff, we get Chad Gable versus Cesaro in a one-on-one matchup. So, you know, like that's the kind of stuff we got. So it's like, all right, cool, but then you spend the next 45 minutes talking, and I just lost all interest in watching whatever the fuck comes on next.
Right, and that was the other thing is it was like SmackDown was the wrestling show. It was the land of opportunity. You saw more wrestling on SmackDown, and you got more entertainment on Raw, or entertainment in air quotes. But this week, you're like you said, Z, you tuned in and you were like, oh, it's the same fucking thing. It's nothing different.
And is AJ a heel now? Are you guys getting that vibe?
I'm getting
like
the vibe.
Not full blown heel, but like kind of.
I'm getting the vibe that AJ will do whatever it takes to win the Universal Championship. That's just like what Seth said before he, crotch popped Lesnar. You know, you're like, I'm not really a heel, but I know this needs to be done. But now AJ's kind of doing that, so I'd be all right if AJ went heel again, too.
And did you notice that they called, Carl Anderson called the Good Brothers bulletproof?
Yes, I did see that.
Do you think they're going to form up with AJ again or no?
I don't know.
And instead of this time, they'll beat up Seth Rollins.
Hashtag beat up Seth Rollins. I don't know. I do know that this is a show that just people are fucking tuning out of. And they have to do something to make you care. And it also doesn't help when people who were invincible at one point are now injured again, a la Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy had never experienced an injury in his career until his comeback to WWE. Well, think about that. No, he said it. I remember that. He had said when he got injured last time, he goes, this is the first time I've had a significant injury that has kept me out for this long.
I swear he was out for a while with the tailbone issue because of the way he landed on somebody with a swanton. That's why he does it differently now.
Now they call it the crouton.
No, whatever. or the futon, whatever.
No, they call it was funny. It was on the Edge and Christian podcast, and they were talking about it, and they were like, now you just basically hit somebody with a crouton, like you just it just boom, heavy right there, just in the middle of something that's supposed to be light. It's just crouton. And they're like, oh, you crouton him really good there.
Eventually, it's going to be the wonton.
But yeah, Jeff said that. He said it was starting to affect him, but it never cost him significant time out of the ring. Like he could take, like it was the Impact taping, so you're taping 3 things in a fucking row. It's similar to NXT where you don't have to be in there, so it's not costing you any TV ring time. WWE though is different. WWE is we want you on live shows, we want you going 3, and it comes back to that whole fucking John Oliver thing. Like, give a break, you know. And
they have more breaks now than they've ever had.
What do you mean?
Like back in the 80s, early 90s, like up until basically I would go with Benoit. You were on the road, 358 days out of the year. Now they work
5 of the 7
Monday, Tuesday. They have Wednesday, Thursday off and do live shows.
Depending on where you are, because you'll have the SmackDown people have Monday off actually.
Yeah, no, but they get 2 days off during the week.
Yeah, so they work 5 out of the 7 days.
Before that was unheard of. You were going 7 days a week, and you saw your family when you could.
Or 6. You always had the day off. They always did have a day off.
I don't think so.
Yeah, they did. And it was usually if I'm not
In
mistaken,
the early 90s, they had a day off?
it was usually Wednesday because SmackDown was always taped Tuesday, and then
Yep.
I'm not going to say early 90s. I'm going to talk about like
2000s on or whatever.
or
Later
even
90s,
like late
yeah.
90s, like during the Attitude Era and everything like that. But again, you're right. That's what I'm saying. It's like you're running these people ragged, and I get it. You have to be a certain type of athlete to handle this. I'm not arguing it because our own Orlando Christopher said it himself. Like taking bumps is the equivalent of getting hit by a car that's going 25, 30 miles an hour. You know, just eventually get used to it. And it's just like with any pain. You can get used to a pain if it's,
Hey, your body builds a callus to
Yeah.
it, so.
So, but at the same time is, if there's no rest, there's no relaxation period, you're going to start injuring these people. And it's happening a lot more frequently, actually, right now, because there's a lot more people going down, And in that instance, I feel like you're hurting your own product. But at the same time, as if you I understand you got your champions are going to go, but get a new contender. You know what I'm saying? Put some new people on, and those people that do work their ass off at live shows, they can, hey, stay away from TV these next couple weeks. We don't need you. Work the live shows. That gives you 3 days off this week. That's rest and relaxation that you fucking need. So there's just a lot of things that I feel like WWE are shooting themselves in the foot with.
Well, I think there's a lot more risk now. I mean, when you look at the types of move sets these guys are doing, before back late 80s, early 90s, you would see somebody get up on the top rope and do an elbow drop. Big fucking deal. But now they're doing flips from the inside of the ring to the outside of the ring. No matter if they're hitting somebody or not, they're going through tables. They're doing a lot more dangerous, if you will, moves than they were back then. So they're putting their bodies at, a lot more of a risk.
Some of them I'd almost say are safer. Like all those dives over the ropes and stuff, easy to fuck up. But I mean, most of the time, now, unless you're watching like a Japan wrestling thing, when they dive, they kind of just push. Put my hands out and then I push you down or whatever. It's not like it used to be where they're just coming right at you like a spear tackle right out the ropes. But like pile drivers and shit, yeah, like that was, I mean, there's a reason WWE got rid of it. But, I mean, I would say the product is much safer nowadays than it was back then because there's actually like rules and regulations, and that's why WWE waters down the style because it's probably safer to have that style and they'll get more longevity out of their talent.
Well, yeah, because you're also not going full fucking blast. You know what I'm saying? There's not go, 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 go. There's, breaks. Now, sometimes in matches, there's too many fucking breaks. We've had conversations where there's been that one Samoa Joe match where it's just headlocks, him and Roman. And everyone's like, Jesus fucking Christ. All right, I get it, but calm the fuck down. This is ridiculous. And then there's the New Japan style where I've constantly said that I don't think Kenny Omega is the best wrestler in the world because he has to do the same fucking move 14 times.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know. I fucking just killed this man.
Oh my God.
But that's why I think AJ is the best because we've had this discussion many times before. You can go into WWE, work a WWE style, and still be really good. That's why I said Nakamura is overrated. Now, speaking of WWE styles, the WWE has this style of pushing Roman Reigns. And currently what they're doing with Roman is the exact same thing that got him all the boos. I don't understand why they refuse to make Roman Reigns look beatable. I understand that they're trying to push him as the hero for all these people who had cancer. That's fine. But just like in battling cancer, you know what I'm saying? There's some down points. Why couldn't Drew go over him at WrestleMania? Why couldn't the B team get a fluke win this week?
No, because he beat leukemia, so he can't lose to hepatitis B. But with Drew McIntyre, I am completely on board because Drew should have went over at Mania. The way they were building Drew to be this unstoppable monster, they should have kept going with it. Everybody knows Roman just got over, leukemia, so having him job out doesn't even make him look weak. It just makes him look not ready.
Right.
So then you have that build for him and Drew for next year's Mania. Have them on separate shows going different ways, and boom, there's your WrestleMania match. But you just kind of blew it up at WrestleMania, like instead of having the redo. Like they should have, dumb build.
And it's now he's getting the boos, man. He fucking comes out and the crowd is booing again, audibly. You like, it's not like where there's a few here or there. No, it's much more cheer favored, but there's still 20% of that crowd going, fuck you.
Yeah, because they're not dumb. This is exactly what he did that when they were reaching at straws to get him over. They've already had him super punch Vince. They've already tried this angle. So now that it's on SmackDown instead of Raw, it's different.
He's the biggest acquisition in SmackDown history, sir.
No, Elias was. Roman interrupted.
Yeah.
Touche.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Touch.
Well, no, and then why not have him face Elias right now, and then have Elias go over him for like a fluke win?
And that's the thing. He is facing Elias at Money in the Bank.
Yeah, but why not have like a little warm up? You know what I mean? Like, why does he got to face the B team?
Right. Well, I mean, you still have 2 more weeks of build before Money in the Bank, so it's very possible that he could. But
And really, yeah, you could have had, they could have had him come out and interfere in the B team match and had the B team go over just because Roman was distracted.
But that's the thing. He was out there. He was the special enforcer on the outside.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And he did interfere, and Roman still won. And again, it's what I'm saying is Roman. They're building Roman to be this fucking unbeatable force, and no one fucking cares.
Nope. Do you think he's gonna go over?
Fuck yeah,
Elias?
he's gonna go over Elias at Money in the Bank.
No, he's not.
You want to bet money on this one?
I've been reading some stuff that Elias is looking good backstage right now.
Elias just looks good.
Yeah.
All the traps.
Some big ass traps.
I think Elias will go over dirty. Shane McMahon will interfere, and Elias will go over dirty.
Man, I would love that to happen because that's part of making
If that
Roman
doesn't
beatable.
happen, again, this is the dumbest booking decision. Not, I won't say ever, but
No, ever.
No, not ever.
No, it's ever. You literally are trying to get this dude cheered, and cancer got him over finally. And what you're doing when he comes back from it is the exact same thing that was working against you.
And they had the whole. I mean, use the cancer as an angle if it wasn't already. Like you already made his fucking gear the fucking
Cancer thing.
cancer
The
ribbon.
ribbon.
So why not have like a slow build, like, Roman, he's been fighting leukemia, he's weakened down, he's got to build it back up, and have like this progression of
Right.
like, hey, I had cancer, and then build him back up to be Roman Reigns. Have him chasing something. Like he can't get that win on Drew, so he just continues to chase it.
Or anything. It's...
I'm sorry, I mean to cut you
No,
off.
it's
They got everybody to cheer for him because he's got cancer. Okay, that means they're just gonna fucking cheer for him forever now. We got him. They're sold. Finally. So no matter what we do, they're still gonna cheer Roman Reigns just because he had fucking cancer. Wrong.
No, yeah.
Fucking wrong. Sorry.
No, you're...
But they were still cheering, like he was getting his ass handed to him by Drew, and people were cheering him. Then he goes over Drew, and people are like, "Yeah, fuck you." And it's not even the "fuck you" Roman, because he's not the one that makes that call. He's not out there like, "Oh, hey, I want to go." You know what I mean? Or at least
Yeah.
I don't think he is. This is the way it was written, and he's just doing his job. So, but I mean, still, I wish Smitty was here
Why?
because I would love to hear his opinion on this.
His opinion's the same as ours.
I know.
And
Fuck Roman.
Roman's stupid. Fucking Roman. I can't fathom... And the reason that is why I say it's the dumbest booking decision, because it's the same thing, right? Like look, we're going to do this booking decision and it turns out to be fucking horrible, Katie Vick. And incredibly
Viagra
stupid.
on a pole.
Again, stupid, but Russo
Judy Bagwell on a fork.
Russo kept doing, but this is something that you're pushing.
Jericho in
into
a shark cage.
Jericho made that shark cage work. Sucker. Okay? Let it be known.
James Ellsworth winning the Money in the Bank match.
It was Carmelsworth.
Okay.
Idiot. So, but you know this didn't work, and you did it again, right? But I guess that's fucking WWE because there's a lot of shit that's not working and that they keep doing over and over and over to the point where people are fucking quitting.
It's like-
Blinko's gone.
It's like back when radio stations used to exist and the DJ would just hit a button.
They still exist.
I know. I know. But everything's like podcast now.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, they put on that top 40 playlist and then they check out for the next 3 hours and you just hear the same, 12 songs over.
And they show
over.
back up going, hey, look at us.
Yeah.
That was Taylor Swift. Again.
You belong to me.
It's like that every Chris Rock movie. If you notice, he picks one song and that's all that's playing throughout the whole movie. So
Yes.
in the one he's like, yeah, it's like Brian McKnight, and then on the TV here's Brian McKnight and all that shit. Like, that's what it reminds me of.
Brian McKnight.
I'm going to segue real quick. Has anyone seen the Sonic the Hedgehog trailer?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not going to shit talk the trailer, but only thing I'm going to ask is, was anyone else really confused when Gangsta's Paradise came on?
Yes.
Because that's like, just was like, I didn't get it. I get that, but it was like, why is Gangsta's Paradise?
I was at school and I clicked on it, and when I clicked on it, like, my volume doesn't automatically play. And I walked outside, so I had already watched like half the trailer on mute, and then I hit unmute, and that's what was playing. And I was like, "This can't be the right music for this. Like, somebody dubbed this, right?"
And that's just convenient, like WWE's bad booking decision. Like, this is gonna work. No,
Yeah,
why does this work?
But if I would be more than apt to make it to give it an excuse that it'll work if they would just play Gangster's Paradise in the background, and then I can at least jam while I'm watching this awful thing they put on television.
Run into a gangster's paradise. It's fucking stupid. Okay. I came across some girl one day and I wiped it off. No.
Ooh. Oh.
She's welcome. I had a towel ready. I posted the video inside of our chat. No thanks, I'm good. I cleaned up before I came here. Jim Ross on Busted Open Radio talking about him going to AEW and why he signed and what he does. And AEW said that JR is not going to be just a commentator. And I'm like, okay, cool, that's fine. JR is not just a commentator. But then JR started talking about what he will be doing. And he's like a senior advisor, which...
Is he an executive VP?
No, he said they offered it, and he said no.
Talent relations along the road.
He said that the way he's going to help and work with things and help try to slow some of these matches down, similar to what we saw in WWE, he goes, but the way they did it when JR was running it. And then Bubba said, dude, the way you ran it was perfect. There was no bullshit. You run it, everything's fine, goes forward and everything like that. And JR is like, well, that's what needs to happen now. Like, some of these guys are just working too hard. Like, give it a moment to breathe. Like, you can't have just excite. Now, granted, in Japan, different story. Because in Japan, they're going to sit on their fucking ass the entire match. That's what they do.
Even on the indies, I mean, the reason you get the go because even on the indies, like, all right, you guys got 10 minutes, so everyone tries to get all their shit in 10 minutes, so it's just a fast-paced match in general.
Mm-hmm. And then it burns out your crowd.
Yeah, and they don't have a weekly TV show to like build up, so you can't just break down this match into 5 separate matches. You have to do all the shit in one match, and then a couple months down the road do the same thing again.
Right. So JR's talking about helping talent with not so much the longevity in the ring, because obviously that's the WWE way. That's the reason why it's not as fucking off the wall in WWE as it is anywhere else. But it made me excited because it's JR not just doing commentary, but also having a hand just like he did back in the Attitude Era when everyone loved wrestling. And everyone loved wrestling because it was a good product in the ring, top to bottom for the most part, right? You could go and look at any of those Raws, any of those SmackDowns, and basically like the entire thing. You might find a segment that was annoying or a match that didn't.
We're talking the Attitude Era.
Yeah, you know.
See, I go back and rewatch them from time to time, and they're not. The in-ring work back then was, I mean, almost awful. You got a handful of guys. Don't get me wrong. But the in-ring work, yeah, I mean, it's kind of garbage.
I'm talking like 99.
I'm not talking promos and all that because that shit was all entertaining.
I'm talking 99 to like 2002. Not like the beginning of NWO. Like when the Hardy Boys, Edge and Christian and everyone were and the Dudleys were opening up WrestleMania.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about. Like you literally.
So like end of Attitude Era, start of Ruthless Aggression Era.
Ruthless Aggression Era was more 2005, 2006. You know what I'm saying? Like
Cena came out in 2002. I have Ruthless. That's the start of it.
Before that, was it 2002? Jesus Christ. But it was I'm not talking anything up to then. Like I'm talking right. You're right. Before Kurt left.
So you had Bret Hart, you had Owen Hart, you had Baldy. Okay. Okay.
The end of the 90s, I'd even go as early as 98. You know, all the way 4 years, you were watching wrestling at its highest ratings, at its highest peak, and it was damn good, top to bottom. Everyone had a story that was built and they worked their in-ring style, and it was really good. Obviously, you're gonna find problems no matter where you go, but JR was running it then. And JR said he was trying, and Bubba was on board with him saying the way you did it is the way it's probably going to be done here. And JR was like, yeah, you're right. This is the first time because remember, we talked about all this. I'm the one who has shat on AEW. I'm the one who has been the voice of reason where I'm like, I don't fucking know if this is going to be anything more than a same fucking thing you get in New Japan and Ring of Honor. What's going to be fucking different? Because it's the same guys that were in New Japan and Ring of Honor doing the same things. But this time, I love the idea of the fact that JR is involved.
Did you really think he was just going to be a commentator?
No, not just a commentator, but at the same time, I didn't think he was going to be as hands-on with this.
Oh, yeah. He's got nothing else, man. I don't mean that in a bad, disrespectful way.
He said that.
But he's got wrestling is his one true love. This is what he does.
Since his
he wants to, keep himself occupied.
Yeah, he wants to be on the road. He wants to be with the boys, and he gets to help build this company from the ground up. It's perfect thing for him.
And Double or Nothing is coming up in 3 weeks, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, May 25th.
Yeah, it's right. Yeah. It's right after that. Cash in the Stash pay-per-view.
Cash in the Stash. Here's the card that they have updated, and some of it doesn't do shit for me.
I love my brother. That was a great promo, by the way.
The AAA World Tag Team title match, Pentagon Jr. and Ray Phoenix versus Young Bucks, who have the AAA Tag Team titles. Cody versus Dustin Rhodes. Chris Jericho versus Kenny Omega. Pac versus Adam Page. Dr. Britt Baker versus Kylie Ray versus Nyla Rose. The Team All Elite Wrestling versus Team Oriental Entertainment Wrestling. It just sounds so bad to fucking say.
Team Oriental Entertainment.
Yeah, like it's like wow, that's all right. SoCal and SCU.
It's a multiple business. They do a lot of different things.
Right. Hopefully they go on last and they give us a happy ending. What's up? And then SEMA and his partners to be announced. And then there's the pre-show Over the Budget Battle Royal. Chuck Taylor, Trent Beretta, Joey Janela, MJF, Brian Pillman Jr., Glacier, Ace Romero, Sunny Days, Brandon Cutler, Kip Sabian, Sonny Kiss, and someone else.
Ace Romero, Rocky Romero?
It says Ace Romero. Oh, is he Rocky Romero?
That's what I'm asking.
I don't know.
Do you change his name for AEW purposes?
I don't fucking know. But that looks like a decent card. The Dustin versus Cody is the only thing that I don't care about.
Why not?
I've seen it.
No.
Yeah.
You didn't see the Natural versus the Nightmare. You've never seen that. You've only seen Goldust versus Stardust. That doesn't count. Plus, you've also seen Goldust versus Stardust in a WWE ring.
It's
not saying that I'm real eager to see this match, but they do have more freedom. So and Goldust can still go. So this could be the best match on the card.
Think it's going to be the main event?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
The way they're building that motherfucker, absolutely. Is there a title match on there?
Yeah. I think the main event's the Bucks versus Phoenix and Pentagon.
Oh no, I meant like a AEW championship.
Oh no, it hasn't. There is no title match, and there's no title announced actually. No AEW title. I wonder if that's going to happen. Do you think we're going to see that, Z?
Yeah, I think we are. I think you're either going to see it on the road to Double or Nothing, or they'll announce it at Double or Nothing and have like a tournament and then go into their next show, which is in July.
I could see that. I think that's better. I obviously I know there's going to be titles, but I'm talking about, do you see it most likely for Double or Nothing rather than something down the line?
Nah, I feel like it would have been announced and built
By now?
You would have built it up by now. You know, not with 3 weeks out. Building something 3 weeks out, that's something WWE would do. So they won't do it.
Right. What are you thinking there, Nick?
Well, I'm just now becoming more familiar with a lot of these guys, but based on what I've seen, with a little bit of New Japan that I've seen, and a little bit of the other promotions like Impact, and I mean the matches you were naming off, I mean, sounds good. You know what I mean? I'm pretty excited for it. I was excited before, something new, but now I'm like, okay, I know who that is. I know who that is. Obviously, I know who Jericho is. Obviously, I know who Omega is. Joe Mega?
Joe Mega, yeah.
Chris Joe Mega?
Yeah, Jericho Mega.
I think it's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
I agree.
Yeah.
And
now that you said that about JR, now I'm really intrigued.
Another thing about that JR clip, which caught me off guard.
She used to produce the TV shows too, so.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, it's JR's talking about how someone said that there's not really, even in AEW, that there's real no heels, no faces in wrestling. And he goes, that makes absolute no sense. And the reason it makes absolute no sense is because you got to have somebody that they want to beat. And someone, even when you go to a football game, the home team is the face or the protagonist.
Unless
and then you have the
Lions,
right.
And then they're the heel.
He goes, and the other team is the antagonist. Like, that's what it is. Like, you have to have someone that they want to beat. And I think WWE is doing that well with the Raw Women's title. Not so much the SmackDown or any other. Well, I think the build for Kevin Owens and Kofi is like, you want Kofi to win, but everyone was asking what for Kofi? Well, he needs someone that they want him to beat. And the way they built Kevin Owens, which we all said may have been a week too soon, still, even at the end of this week's SmackDown, when Kofi's getting his comeuppance on him, you're like, fuck yes.
They never, ever built any kind of KO betrayal. Even the Festival of Friendship. Like, how long were they best friends for? Like,
What are you talking about? They were friends for months.
no, but it was on and off.
No, it was teased on and off that there was going to be a breakup, but they never did. They never were on it. There was like that one time where the only time you thought it was happening is when Jericho helped KO retain.
Okay.
They never actually broke them up. They were always on the same team. So Lacey Evans is fucking annoying as shit. The way she's talking, the way she's demeaning. Everyone wants to see Lacey Evans get beat. And I love that. Because you're paying your money not just to see the face win, but to see the heel lose. And if you're not building someone to lose, nobody cares about who's going to win. And I love the fact that JR said that, he goes, we might have some amicable disagreements, respectful and everything like that. He goes, but someone doesn't have to be an all-out heel, but in the building of someone, you got to make sure that people want to pay to see somebody lose just as much as they want to pay to see somebody win. Because even if you stop caring about the one half of that equation, you still care about the other half. So you're still invested emotionally. And if you're not doing that, that's where you're losing your audience. Hi, WWE.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give, you know what I'm saying? Like, look at I'm over Becky and Charlotte. But we're getting Becky and Charlotte again.
So,
Again.
my question, though, is Becky has 2 matches, and then whoever wins the Money in the Bank would be dumb not to cash it in unless they have it after Becky's 2 matches.
Which is, I think, is what's gonna happen.
No, last year they kicked off. If they,
No, I know,
if
but-
it's before either one of those matches, if not both of them, then she's definitely getting cashed in on. I'm calling it right now. But
No way.
when they cash in, can they challenge for both belts?
No, you're only allowed to fight for one title with it. And no way, they're not cashing in right away that night. There's no fucking way. They did it last year.
Alexa did last year.
Yeah, after Carmella's incredibly huge, long hold on that Money in the Bank because they had no idea what they were going to do with her. That's why Alexa cashed in that night. It was built like that. They're not going to have a 2-year in a row automatic cash in.
You never know.
No, I do know.
Do you think they will?
It's
for the men's?
WWE. They're not going to make. Look,
We just talked about all the dumb shit they do that we
Right.
won't remember. Like, so it's not off the radar of something for them to do.
but this is something that's high profile that will constantly be talked about by them. So therefore, it won't be because it's not something that we don't remember or they can throw away later. This is something they have to make a mention of.
I think it's possible they do it for the men's because just
Men's?
for me,
Different. Yes.
For me, Braun Strowman cashing in that Money in the Bank was like, really? This is how you're doing it? You're
Yeah.
gonna 3 weeks from now? Like, really?
Yeah,
Fucking lame.
I would love if the men, someone did that. You know what? That'd be the only time I would say that taking it off of Kofi would be okay as well, as if they did it right away. Like whoever cashed in.
Andrade.
That would get. Would anybody? Okay, so
Fox wants it bad.
Fox wants Andrade.
They want a Latino superstar.
Really?
That's what I've been reading. That's why he moved back to SmackDown, one of the reasons, and they're looking to give him a prime push.
So maybe he wins it and then doesn't cash it in, but does it like on the beginning of the first episode of SmackDown Live on Fox.
So hold it till October,
Yeah.
November, cash in at Survivor Series.
Oh, no, I'm talking about the first episode of Fox's SmackDown. Like, remember the first episode of SmackDown officially was Triple H versus The Rock, and HBK was your special guest referee, and everyone thought that Rock was taking it because it's his show. It's named after him. He's going to be the WWE champion there. And then the fucking HBK swerve to where he joined Hunter's side because he super kicked Rock. Oh, what a great fucking main event that was. And it's something you remember and you like. So the first ever episode of it on Fox, I could see something like I could see them having a title match and then him keeping it and then Andrade cashing in on Kofi or whomever.
If Kofi has it that long.
I think Andrade, man,
And where the fuck has Daniel Bryan been?
he's injured, but they're not disclosing what the injury is. That's right.
Did you buy that $400 belt?
No, because I don't have the money for it right now. If that belt would have come out 4 weeks ago, I would have fucking bought that. I'm not even gonna argue it. It's fucking stupid that it's $400.
Yeah. It literally better be hemp and wood when I get it.
Man,
Mahogany. Yeah,
Authentic.
Yeah, right.
Well, it says in the description each one may be slightly different than the next.
Yeah, are they
Does
all
it really?
Are they all handcrafted?
Different types of wood and
Yeah, probably.
really?
different gemstones. They use
It's all
to
made
line.
from recycled material. That's why it's so fucking expensive. Save the planet.
I'm looking at it right now. So it's the new Daniel Bryan has brought a new age of environmental consciousness to WWE. During his championship reign, Daniel Bryan changed the climate of WWE by disposing of the WWE Championship for a more eco-friendly version. Truly a piece of fine craftsmanship. Each wood piece is a warm mid-tone, creating continuity throughout. Continuity in WWE, everybody! Found it! Due to the natural wood element of this product, the color will vary slightly, which makes each title unique.
It's like they're talking about penises.
Right. Own your own.
Each one's like a snowflake.
Own your very own Eco WWE Championship replica title and join the Eco movement. Side note, this belt cost you $399.99.
And it would be different if, like, 10% of your contribution goes to, like, save the rainforest or some shit. Or you know what? Let's send it to the WWF, the World Wildlife.
So here's crazy. So obviously you got the product details for everything. This one says, due to the natural wood element of this product, the color will vary slightly, which makes each unique. Plate material, red oak wood. Strap material, burlap, 100% jute with felt on the back.
Oh my god.
Includes cloth carrying base with the Daniel Bryan logo.
I literally walked around Joanne Fabrics earlier this week, and I could have bought all of that and made us each one.
Burlap.
It does not. Stones made of decorative resin.
I got some decorative resin for you.
Oh my gosh.
Scraping some up right now.
It'll get you high too when you can't afford weed because you bought a fucking $400 belt.
Jeez, luckily it's not as expensive as the WWE or the Universal Championship. Those are $430. This is only $400.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Where's the plastic version? I don't need real wood. Just come out with the plastic version. I'll be happy.
Commemorative titles, not there. I don't need real wood. What would it be? Plastic? Yeah, it would be all plastic. Everything about it would be. What would you make the fucking strap out of? If you're doing title plates, if the title plates are plastic, and obviously it's
100% cotton.
Hello, burlap.
Still
Because it's cheap. Yeah, it's fucking burlap.
$400.
I'll cut some off the bottom of a Arborvitae the next time I'm at fucking Home Depot, and we'll just get it for free.
Did you see these people who someone bought one of these? They were for sale at WrestleMania, but they were the TV title ones. So
TV title.
So it's called not the Elite Series that they have here.
Yeah, which is like $2,000.
Yeah, $2,000. I just clicked it up right now.
What is so much different between that one and the replica one?
So wait, the Daniel Bryan Elite Series is $2,000?
No.
They had one at WrestleMania and someone fucking bought it.
Oh my god.
I was going on YouTube videos.
Yeah, but the Universal and the regular WWE Championship are $2,000 too.
Yes.
But what is the difference between the Elite and, like, if I buy the replica one with the metal plates and everything, right? Mm-hmm. It's $430.
So I'm clicking on it right now. So product details for the $430 one. Plate material is a zinc alloy.
Resin.
Plate material for the $2,000 one, a zinc alloy.
Okay. Sweet. check. Okay.
Strap material, $430 one, polyurethane. Oh, can you just know?
Hey, Nick, how much you want to bet the other one's polyurethane?
Strap material for the $2,000 one, top grain leather.
Oh.
Okay, so really that cost me $1,500?
Strap dimensions, 50.39 inches by 11.02 inches by 0.02 inches. So I think that's the last one's the thickness, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Here we go. Strap dimensions, 50.39.
So it's
inches?
shorter.
Nope, same.
No, you said 59 inches.
50.39. Both of them.
okay. Sorry, I heard 50.
By 11.02, same. By 0.02.
Okay, so the dimensions are the exact fucking same. So right now, all I'm getting is a piece of leather for $1,500.
Right.
Okay. Are there actual jewels? Are they like rhinestones?
Oh wait, no, wait.
Fucker better be encrusted in fucking diamonds for $2,000.
Okay, here's the real difference. Okay, wait. So largest waist size for the $430 one, 46 inches.
Sweet.
Largest waist size for the $2,000 one,
60 inches.
46 inches.
Oh, so they're the same.
Yeah. The weight of the $430 one, 5.62 pounds. The weight of the $2,000 one,
4 something.
6 pounds.
Yeah. Oh, man.
There it is.
That leather. Cost of leather went up by the pound.
Snap fasteners on the $430 one, and on the $2,000 one, snap fasteners.
But are they made out of brass on the
The
$2,000 one?
$430 one includes cloth carrying bag with WWE logo.
$2,000 better one.
$2,000
come
one?
with the carrying bag.
Includes velvet bag with
I
WWE.
want a warranty with this. Oh, I get a velvet bag and a leather strap.
Yeah. The $430 one has customizable side plates. So does the $2,000 one. Plate length and width. Main plate 10 by 10.16 inches by 10.16 inches. Same on the $2,000 one. 5.94 by 5.51 inches on the side plate for the 430. 5.94 by 5.51. It's the same size. Main plate and the side plate are both the exact same thickness. As real as it gets. Our Elite Series title belts feature hand-placed cubic zirconia and have the exact dimensions of the ones that the WWE superstars carry. Handcrafted with meticulous detail and weighing over 6 pounds, these titles are made for the true WWE superfan.
And that's for the $2,000 one?
That's a $2,000 one.
Holy
What
shit.
the other one doesn't have hand-picked gems?
Yeah, no. Now, there is one that was the TV Elite Series that they were selling at WrestleMania, and that's a $5,000 belt.
Oh my God.
But everything about that title belt is different than the $430 one. It's like someone was doing a YouTube video. It's like the plates are 3 times as thick. The leather, it's a much higher quality leather that it has. But it was, and they said it weighed like 15 pounds. They're like, this fucking belt is heavy as shit. So whatever they did for the TV Elite Series.
Because it's worth its weight in gold.
And yeah, maybe. So
$5,000.
yeah.
You know what I could do with $5,000?
Jerk off.
Go to WrestleMania.
And Raw and SmackDown and NXT
the whole
and the
fucking week.
brunch.
So then there's the $750 one.
Oh, please tell me more.
It also has top grade leather.
Okay. So we're moving to leather belts here.
It's a red velvet cloth carrying bag. No. But that's fucking it, man. I don't understand.
Doesn't have hand.
Yeah, it doesn't have
hand-picked
hand
gems.
stuff, yeah.
It doesn't have rubies or anything.
Yeah. I love it. This replica deluxe championship title belt features the same perfect craftsmanship as other replica titles, but with top grain leather. True collectors of the WWE universe will be amazed by this soft feel and features of authentic top grain leather.
So for $430, I get a replica title belt. For $750, I can upgrade to a leather strap, and for $2,000, I can get a leather strap and some hand-picked fucking gems that somebody probably found on a beach.
I really don't understand.
Or glass. Handmade glass.
Do they offer financing?
Since I'm buying this car,
Stop it.
if you buy it through PayPal credit, you get financing.
You got 6 months to pay it off that way.
It's just stupid.
Yeah. Hey, and how, hold on. Why do I have to pay $400 for the Daniel Bryan belt when I probably can't change the plates on it?
True.
Would I get a wood burner and burn a new fucking logo into it? Or do I just get a different 2x4 and that's what I just add into the satchel?
Satchel. Yeah, you can't. It's because it's custom cut. Yeah. It just says
Yeah,
Daniel
it's
Bryan.
probably like sewn into it, so you can't take it
not
out.
sewn. It's the plate. It's made that way.
You could probably drill.
No, come over here and look. That is they burnt
Sand
that.
it off.
Welded into the wood.
No, that's not a plate. It's the whole side plate. Is they cut it out. They formed it like that. That it doesn't actually have a side plate going into it. Like, see, that's
So it's like one whole piece.
Yeah,
They literally glued a 2x4 to a fucking burlap sack and selling it for $400.
Yeah, duh.
Could sand it off.
And you know why they did that, right? Because we've all been waiting fucking 3 months for it.
Yeah. When you come back, will you bring me a water?
I'm good.
You don't want more water?
I'm still wet.
That's what she said. What's up? Are you going to buy yourself a Daniel Bryan title belt, Nick? If you get the money?
I already bought 2 of them. They just haven't made it yet to my house.
Shit! That just reminded me.
Posters.
Yeah. Mother dickhole. I blame midgets. The midget stripper threw me off my game today. I knew I was forgetting something when I left the house, too. Yeah,
That's bullshit.
All right, so let's go into... I'll take it. You know what? Can I have a Coke? Hey, thanks.
Orange, vanilla, Coke.
So now I want to... We've talked at nauseum how horrible WWE has been the last 2 weeks. We talked about AEW and how all of a sudden it's very promising now with having JR there. Because I'll be very honest, before JR had that interview, which I don't know how I missed that interview. That interview happened at the beginning of April. It's now May. So, and I have SiriusXM and I listened to Busted Open, and there was a great one that they had of Jericho when Jericho was on there for an hour, and that was spectacular. Even though they blocked me on Twitter. Don't know why. I really don't know why Busted Open blocked me. I think it's because I supported Larry Dallas so hard. Larry Dallas is a guy that was on Busted Open that stood up for some people, and they got rid of him on Busted Open because he wouldn't stop standing up for people. And then he went on MLW, their podcast, and then he continued to stand up for people, and MLW got rid of him. And then all of these people that he continued to stand up for became exonerated. So he was always right, and now these fucking companies look stupid. Anyway... But I never said shit bad about Busted Open. I went back and I looked, and none of my tweets were horrid, were bad, were mean, spirited, or anything like that. So I blame... I don't know why they do it. I'm actually bummed out because I fucking love the show, and I just can't tweet them now unless I use ours, and I don't want to be a shill. Yeah, I do. I'll be a shill. So anyway, Dark Side of the Ring on Viceland has had 3 episodes and currently has another one going on right now, The Last of the Von Erichs. But last week's was the death of Bruiser Brody. And if you know anything about Bruiser Brody, a lot of people say he should be in the WWE Hall of Fame. He is now. He was put in the legacy wing, like the unannounced. He didn't get put in. Like he didn't have a fucking stand up anyone go in there and
Yeah, because they didn't want anybody to Google
Bruiser. Yeah, exactly. Because of all, if you did it under the radar, like hey, also going in, just not on the show. Were these people that they announced like a couple weeks after?
Oh, look,
Mania.
Owen Hart is in the Hall of Fame, guys.
That'll never happen. Well, okay, unless she releases his, what is it? I want to see a Dark Side of the Ring on that one. Yeah. The death of Owen Hart. Anyway, so
You're not going to get it.
no, you're fucking not at all, because she won't talk or let holds his estate, and that's why Owen Hart wasn't involved in the Hart Foundation going in. He won't be inducted in. It's his wife that will not let this happen. And you really can't be too angry about it because they kind of just brushed it under the rug and kept going with the pay-per-view. Mm-hmm. Anyway.
That's a whole nother show.
That brings us to a great point about the Bruiser Brody.
You can't say that fucking name.
I cannot.
Brody, Brody.
Can't say it fast. I gotta like slow it down. The Bruiser Brody episode.
So yeah, Bruiser Brody episode. I could say it. I'm fine. He has been a very controversial. I can't say controversial superstar. And I need something to drink because my mouth is getting dry and beer isn't doing it. Thank you for the red can of soda. Pop. It's pop.
Cola.
It's pop.
Soda. Cola. God damn. I said one big word in the beginning of the show, and now I can't even make out the easy ones.
I don't even remember what it was.
Amylibical. See? There it is. I said formulaic.
Formulaic. Yep.
Again.
I was like, it started with an F. What the fuck was it?
Fuck. Yeah. That was a huge word. So, Bruiser Brody, if you know anything about him, you know that he was killed in Puerto Rico before a show. There are many reports going on. There are the reports saying that a fan did it, right? Because that's some of the thing. But then there's the reports going on that a wrestler did it, and the wrestler eventually went to trial, said it was self-defense, and got off on the self-defense thing because back in those days, and this was 1988, July 1988.
Back in those days, you're in a different country. They get away with that shit now if they wanted to.
But
I mean, less likely because of social media and
that's
shit.
not what I'm talking
but
about. That's not what I'm talking about. You're cutting me off. Back in those days, wrestlers were their character outside the ring as much as they were inside the ring more. You know, we've talked about how when the Dudleys went to WWE, Bubba told Vince, hey, we're real heels. We're going to be dicks to fans, so on and so forth. And Vince looked at him and said, you don't fucking do that here. You still sign autographs and kiss babies if that's what happens, because we're one thing in the ring, but we are a fan service company outside of the ring. In 88, 87, 86, if you were a fucking psycho in the ring, you were a fucking psycho outside at the airport. And so
until you were back home.
And so, then you're obviously something. Then you're who you are. You know, Ric Flair was out there buying all the fucking booze at bars because he was living his gimmick. But he didn't stop it when he got home. He just continued to live his gimmick. You know, Hulk Hogan, Terry Bollea, you know, was Hulk Hogan. He go out, he's Hogan. He's Hulk. Rah, Hulkamaniacs, everything. He gets home, he was a dad to 2 kids, you know, and a husband, and they had cookouts and so on and so forth, you know. But if you were a psycho in the ring, you were a psycho outside of the ring. You lived your gimmick. You lived 2 different lives. That's how professional wrestling was back in the day. So when all this was going down, so Bruiser Brody goes in there, and it's Invader 1 he has a problem with because he beat the shit out of him in a match, and that Invader 1 was supposed to be looking good going over. And after the match, why can't I find Special Delivery Jones, SD Jones, took Invader 1 to the hospital, and he had said, one day I'm going to kill that guy. Tony Atlas, Dirty Dutch Mantel, and Abdullah the Butcher were the 3 main interviewed people for this. This happened in a territory that was run by Gorilla Monsoon and Carlos Colon, Carlitos' dad.
A third minority partner, right?
A couple, like even Abdullah at one point said he had like a 5% stake or something. Like, yeah. But the main 2 people were Monsoon and Carlos Colon.
The Collins?
Yeah. Yeah. Epico and Primo. That's why they're not on TV right now, because they murdered their
Probably.
dad. They couldn't argue that. So, Tony Atlas gives a side of the story that's really never heard before. Highly corroborated by Dutch Mantel, who is Zeb Coulter. If you guys remember when Jack Swagger and Cesaro were doing their We Are the People, Zeb Coulter is Dutch Mantel.
Yeah.
Same huge mustache and everything like that. Great mind in the wrestling business.
I think he went by Dutch Mantel too when he managed the Jacob or the Harris brothers. God, they had the big fucking crazy hair and they were tall as fuck. They ended up being DOA.
Okay, you're right. Yep, because you're right. His first run inside WWE and everything like that.
Yeah, big cowboy looking like Yosemite Sam is how they had him come out.
Exactly. Bam, 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 goddamn varmints! Burr, 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 kill me a fucking rabbit, rascally rabbit. So yeah, Abdullah the Butcher was the one who had a different story. That said, he wasn't in there, he didn't see it, and.
He was in a different dressing room altogether.
Right, and he heard that he had died, and he was like, how he thought it was a rib until the doctors came in and said that he was stabbed, and he thought it was a rib, and they were fucking with him until the doctor came in. He goes, well, the doctor wouldn't lie to me. So Tony Atlas said that right before Brody got up to go over to Invader 1, he was holding a picture of his son. He goes, Atlas was doing some drawings. And he was like, man, I want you to do one of those for me. You know, we do one of my son. And he was holding the photo. And then he went to go talk to Invader 1 in the shower, different part of the locker room. I don't know. And this whole thing is being narrated by Mick Foley. And Foley said, and just like now, it's not uncommon that you go and discuss your match in private, get it all together and things like that. It's not weird that he was asked to go where he was asked to go. That's why Bruiser went. And then Tony Atlas said all of a sudden he heard, oh, and he looked up and he thought that there was a fight going on. And then he saw a knife come up full of blood and he jumped up, grabbed Brody, and the knife came down and cut Brody's ponytail. Atlas stayed with Bruiser Brody after everyone tackled Invader 1, and then Atlas even went to the hospital with Bruiser Brody, getting really upset at the doctors and everything like that. But when he came back, the entire locker room had told the Puerto Rican police that a fan attacked Bruiser Brody before he came in. And it was Tony Atlas that said, no.
Fuck that.
It was that fucker right there who is putting his gear on, putting his gear away like he just had the best fucking match of the night. And he fucking stabbed him, and he did it. And they were like, well, you're someone different. You're going to be someone that we're going to be calling for court. Well, then Tony Atlas was in somewhere. It was like somewhere else. And then they did a trial for Invader 1, and they let him off on self-defense because you lived your gimmick. And everyone thought Bruiser Brody was just crazy, and so on and so forth.
They said even like the people down in Puerto Rico were even on another level with that belief.
Oh yeah.
With, wrestlers and it being real and, all that. So it was on a whole other level down there.
Then you hear Tony Atlas and Abdullah the Butcher talk about it, and they really used to beat the fuck out of each other. Like, I mean, it was probably safe in some sense, but like when they were clubbing you,
Stiff
they were
shots.
clubbing you.
Yeah, when they used a real fork and stuff like that.
And he's like, I'd put it in his mouth and
Yeah.
jam it in his eye.
Now, Z, you said, like, I've heard of this story, and I've heard the myriad of, I can honestly say not once in my life did I ever go, man, I really want to check out this Bruiser Brody story. I've just been like, because I've heard the fan, I've heard another wrestler, and I heard that the wrestler got off because of self-defense. I've heard all of that. Never once did I really try and look into anything. Obviously, it also may not have come out till just now when Tony Atlas's story.
Okay, so that's not the first time that story has been told. It is the first time it's been said out loud by Tony Atlas.
Yeah.
Also Abdullah the Butcher. Like, they just don't talk about it. Like, especially because looking back, 40 years ago?
88, yeah.
It kind of got swept under the rug. But when I was a kid,
Wow, 41 years ago, yeah. Holy shit.
growing up, my neighbor's dad was real into wrestling, so he was like, oh, you kids like this, and check out this video, that video. So growing up, I was aware of who he was, what he did, what he was as a character, and man, like, he put on some great fucking matches, just original, like, ECW type shit.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't see it anywhere else. And I've heard this story. I've heard it in every different way, like you have. I have heard this particular version. I couldn't tell you the wrestler's name in it because I was such a young kid. I don't remember, but I was watching this and I was like, okay. And it was intriguing to hear it from them because it's one of those things in wrestling that, like they say, it's the deep dark secret. Like, nobody talks about it. Like, this is what happened. This is how it turned out. We're moving on. Like, he didn't even make it into the Hall of Fame, announced Hall of Fame,
Right.
because they don't want people to look up what happened, because then people have to start asking questions because it's 2019 and you can go back and charge people for murder.
So, okay, so you've heard the story of him,
Getting stabbed in the locker room.
yeah,
by,
but it not being self-defense?
yeah, by far.
I've never heard that story before.
Yeah, no, 100%. Not, like I said, since I was like 10 years old. It was everyone knew, it was one of those things, like, everyone knew, like, everyone that was in the locker room knew what happened, but they told a different story.
Right.
Like, that's how they got around it. I don't remember exactly how it was portrayed, like whether the guy had, like, say in the, like, government and stuff. Because I'm kind of a conspiracy theory, and after hearing this story again, it did raise one question to me, like, Atlas left him alone in the hospital. This guy has so much pull in, where were they again?
Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
So much pull in Puerto Rico that you have an eyewitness who points him out. He spends like a night in jail, gets bailed out, and then gets off on self-defense. So who's to say after Tony Atlas left, like some doctor or something,
Right, very possible.
wasn't in somebody's pocket and,
I agree with that.
just
Well, especially with the fact that the dude that bailed this guy out of jail was, they just said, quote unquote, a businessman of some sorts. So something doesn't add up right there.
Well, I agree. He very much could have been pulling through, and then somebody did something more to him to finish it off.
because when Tony left, he said, he's fine. I mean, granted, you never know with internal injuries,
Right.
But they said, yeah, he's stable.
Especially in a fucking Puerto Rican hospital.
Yeah, they didn't say he was fine. They said he was in stable condition.
Yeah. And I agree wholeheartedly. I had never heard the cold-blooded murder thing. I had heard stabbed, self-defense, not straight up cold-blooded fucking murder.
I never knew what it was over. I knew it was over. I knew it had something to do with Brody going over somebody else. I didn't know the depth of the story, like that this guy said, "Oh, I'm going to kill him one day," and then
Right.
Brody's about to be a minority share in the Bruiser. What? See, I can say it now. I just can't say it the other way.
Brody Bruiser? Brody Bruiser, I know him, because he tried to say Bruiser.
But he was about to buy into the company, and he was going to change everything, and this guy didn't want it. Like, that's the first time I'm hearing this addition to the story that I already kind of knew.
Nick, this was your first real foray into the Bruiser Brody, the depths of the Bruiser Brody story. So when you were watching, because I told everyone, I was like, go fucking watch this. Holy shit. It blew me away. The first episode of this is Macho Man and Elizabeth. The second episode is the Montreal Screwjob again.
Even better.
And then the third one is Bruiser Brody,
And
which
then tonight's the Von Erichs.
the last of the Von Erichs, which I'm going to fucking watch when I go home.
Have you watched all of them?
There's the 3 episodes? Yeah, I've seen them all.
Okay.
Yeah.
I really like the one on the screw job.
Yes, I will. We could totally discuss more of this when everybody is watching. Because
Yeah,
I know,
still
Nick,
gotta
you've only
watch
seen
that.
this one.
Yep.
Yeah, so we can discuss that one next week. Or
Yeah,
something.
for sure.
Yep.
We can discuss the fucking whole show because it's not like WWE's giving us anything to fucking discuss. Now, you're watching this. What is your take as you're watching this about all of the things that are going on?
Well, like I was telling you before the show, I was familiar with Bruiser Brody and who he was and what he meant to the business. I had no idea up until 8 hours ago that he was murdered. So for me, this was all brand fucking new information. And Tony Atlas, from what I understand, he's a controversial character as it is outside of the ring. But I am totally, I'm believing his side of the story. Like it's very sad, and it's very. I mean, this guy was like a larger than life character on the level, could have been on the level of like an Andre the Giant type, not necessarily size wise, but for what he meant.
He was up there. He
You
was
know
like
what I mean?
6'7".
But it just
six,
it
six, seven.
it blew my mind to think that, okay, you get mad at this guy because he didn't put you over and whatever, and I'm gonna kill this guy, and then you go and do it in a locker room full of guys, and then after the fact, everybody just kind of turns their shoulder and goes on with the show, and great job and great match, and there's fucking blood on the floor, but it's no big deal, and Tony Atlas, it seemed like he tried to do everything he could except for literally save his life. And then he gets shit on in the end. They don't even call him to, hey, come make an appearance in this court case.
Right? Yeah, to totally just get the dude off.
So it's it's fucked up, man. It is fucked up.
I'm flabbergasted.
Ooh, that's a big word.
I
a
know,
good
'cause-
one.
and I can say it. I'm flabbergasted at how Abdullah the Butcher was still playing politics. Like to the point where they asked Tony Atlas, how'd you find out that he died? And he goes, Abdullah said it in a meeting. And then it cuts to them asking Abdullah about a meeting. He goes, I was never in a meeting. He goes, they may have been, but I wasn't. I own the 5% of the company. You don't talk. And Tony's like, wow, I can't believe he said that. Because obviously they talked to Abdullah first and then with Tony. And then Tony's like, I can't believe he lied like that. Dutch Mantell was there. And then it cut to Dutch, who was talking about the meeting where they were having. And it's like, so you got two of the three guys, the three mainly interviewed guys, saying that there was this meeting that everyone had and had a conversation about it. And the one dude who had a stake in the company was saying no. And it just...
But it's Abdullah the Butcher. He's really fucking old. Took a lot of fucking bumps. I wouldn't be surprised if he just, like, doesn't remember being in the meeting.
Straight up like, I don't know.
No, I mean, you saw the same interview I did. He wasn't all there.
When he was laughing at the end... I was like,
that was
"Why?"
You got to remember, they actually electrocuted him in WCW.
Right. So, okay. But at the same time, his answer to that was a definitive. It's not like he was like, nothing I can remember. He was like, no, it never happened. Never happened.
Well, even Dutch Mantell was like, yeah, he might have been there. He might not have been there. When he was talking about Abdullah, he was like, he's like, yeah, I remember we had a meeting or something, and he may have been there, he may not have been there.
But that's completely different. Like, obviously, Tony Atlas was like, yeah, he was there. Dutch is like, man, maybe, I don't remember. But Abdullah wasn't even just like partial to, I may have been. He was like, no, fuck that, I wasn't there. So to me, it just came across as Abdullah was hiding something more. And it's possible he was, because he might, again, 5% ownership stake.
Well, that was one of the original stories, was that Abdullah the Butcher killed him.
Yes.
Or put a hit out on him.
Yes.
Which, I mean, he was in a different dressing room, blah, blah, blah. He wasn't. I mean, I can see where all the conspiracy theories come from. But, I mean, they might not be too far off.
So, Nick, after watching that one episode, are you sold on this docuseries?
100%.
Are you excited to watch the other ones when you get a chance?
Yep, I'm going to, sometime this week, I'll watch the other two, the other three now. I wish they would turn it into a full-blown series. And it doesn't have to be, a 24-episode season. Make like 6 or 7 episodes a season because, you got time to make this shit. But stuff like the Owen Hart tragedy and...
You'll never get that, though.
Man, would I love to see that, though.
You'll never get that, and you'll never get Benoit.
But, yeah, I think that this could be
a
great idea.
You can read books and watch other documentaries about the Benoit murder, but you'll never see it on cable television.
Yeah.
They won't get enough people to talk about it.
I've never seen Wrestling with Shadows. If anybody's got that, let me know. I want to borrow it.
Wrestling with Shadows, though.
That's the documentary they
For
were
Bret
filming
Hart.
with Bret Hart.
Oh, yeah.
During the
never
screw
saw
job.
that.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Oh, you know what? No, because they were fucking using that for the John Oliver piece.
Yeah.
That's right. I don't know why I thought it wasn't called Wrestling with Shadows. I agree. I can't wait for the last 2 episodes of this, or the last episode after tonight. Obviously, I'm going to probably go home and watch it.
There's like 6 or 7 of them.
6.
Are the
There's
same
one more
guys,
after this one, and it's talking about George's death.
Are the same guys doing every episode? Do we know?
What do you mean?
Like the same producers, the same guys.
I believe so, yeah.
Because
it's a different narrator, but
they do a great job with like the way that they were building the story, from the music that was playing behind it, and they almost made Abdullah look like you were kind of sympathetic to him in the beginning of the episode, but then come the end of it, he was like the villain.
Yeah.
It was a great show.
Him laughing at the end was
Creepy
just
as
so
fuck.
fucking weird. Yeah, it threw me off.
oh, just wait till you watch the Screwjob one.
Oh, I saw them all.
Oh, you haven't seen it.
No,
Yeah.
not yet.
Cornette has some words for Russo at the very end.
So good. So good. Fucking
so
good.
Which I'm starting to think that whole rivalry is a work.
Because of that?
Yeah.
It's like,
gotta be
straight up. I don't want to spoil it for Nick. But yeah, it's fucking good. God, it was so good. That was
We'll talk about it next week.
Yeah, we will. That's it for us this week, guys. Oh, no. One more thing. I think we kind of touched on it, or it may have just been pre-show. John Moxley's back, everybody.
The
Mox. What does the Mox say?
That was...
And there it is.
fist. Yeah, so he's had a Twitter for fucking ever. Dean Ambrose
He's
has
never used it.
never fucking put. Literally, the bio on it was, so they made me get a Twitter. Here it is. And he's never tweeted, never done anything.
Not following anybody, nothing.
No, and now it's all the name's all switched around to John Moxley and everything. Now it's got the blue check mark next to it, and now it has a video of him like breaking out of a prison, which I thought was funny.
He broke out of prison to work out.
Yeah,
That's what I took away from it.
And then like to be who he was meant to be. That's what I took it as. He's like, fucking WWE is a goddamn prison. Now I can do and say what I want to say, be who I want to be.
Did you notice that in one of those like video cuts, his hair looked like it was long again?
No.
Yeah, he's got the hood up, and his hair looks long, like in the shadow. It looks like he has like longer hair.
So you're a conspiracy theorist,
Yes.
and this looked great. Like this was beautifully produced.
Okay.
Do you think it was beautifully WWE produced?
I kind of do.
Yeah, when I saw it the first time, I was like, that is a really clean video. And then I looked
Because
at
even
it
like the
again.
being elite shit,
there's still something. It's homemade.
It's literally like
Yeah.
they do it off their phones and then just edit it all.
right.
Yeah.
This is professional cameras, and I was looking at it like this is too pretty to be done by just him.
But now, do you think
Or is it?
do you think he's gonna go to NXT UK? What about NXT? Because they just sent Killian Dane back to NXT and Alexander Wolf to NXT UK.
Right, with the breakup of Sanity. I don't
I
think.
do like the idea of them sending underutilized wrestlers down to NXT for a spot, or even just like a couple random one-offs, just to kind of mix up the talent pool.
I don't see him wrestling for any major company for a while. I can see him doing indie run-ins, indie stuff. Maybe even Evolve. Do not see him touching Ring of Honor, New Japan, or AEW.
I do see him touching New Japan though. Maybe I don't see him touching anything stateside. I really don't. I think he might go to New Japan.
The reason I don't think he's going to New Japan is I really think he's coming back to WWE.
So do I, but I think he might do a little
But
around the world tour real quick and then come back.
and that's why I could see him go to All Japan, not New Japan, because New Japan is their bigger shows are after. I think he's going to be gone from WWE till after SummerSlam. I think he's literally taking months off,
Yeah.
resting, and then coming back maybe at SummerSlam, maybe the pay-per-view after SummerSlam. That's my thought process.
All right. Now, what if he shows up in that Battle Royal?
The over the budget battle
Yeah.
royal.
Him,
know what?
Him and CM Punk invade AEW.
So
Hall and
okay,
Nash, baby.
this is something that happened last week that we didn't get to talk about. Starrcast 2 had Kurt Angle and Undertaker, both of which pulled out of Starrcast.
Yeah, they were pulled by WWE.
WWE because of the contracts that they had just re-signed. WWE was able to pull their talent from it. Now, Conrad was talking about how he was on the phone with WWE people to sort of have others replace them. And then all of a sudden this week they scored 4 WWE Hall of Fame names. They have Lita, they have Medusa, they have Mark Henry, and I think it's Ron Simmons. I could be wrong. I'm actually going to go to this right now.
So, who do we got on Legend contract?
And
Okay.
that's literally it. That's 100% exactly what the fuck happened.
I mean, who cares? They're still letting people go. I mean, we all know what they're doing. The Undertaker and Kurt Angle's going to draw more than what these 4 people are. I mean, Mark Henry and Ron Simmons, those are big names, but not names like The Undertaker and Kurt Angle. I mean, meeting Lita would be kind of cool. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to draw the same numbers.
You've met Lita. I've met Lita.
Was that like 2 years ago?
Yeah. It is, okay, so Booker T's going, Godfather's going.
The whole Nation of Domination from what you told me a minute ago.
Yeah. Mine is D-Lo.
No, just give him one of the AOP members. We'll be good. Nobody will notice.
I
God.
really fucking. Oh, here it is. Yeah. So it is Ron Simmons, Medusa, Lita, and Mark Henry. They're announced yesterday.
For StarCast?
For StarCast.
Yeah, it's not even affiliated with
What?
AEW. It's not even affiliated with AEW. It's,
Right. But that was the Vince thought that. Now they also have Bret Hart, Sting, and Ricky Steamboat meet and greets that they announced. Taz is going to be there. Booker T, Godfather. Yeah. Jungle Boy. Yeah, anyway. So, obviously, it looks like WWE's throwing some of their... There's a roast of Ric Flair?
When? Wait, didn't they already do that?
I don't know. Ron Funches was on Xbox fucking show talking about it. I really want Ron Funches on our show. Ron Funches is hilarious.
Okay, so how do we get Ron Funches?
Ron Funches! Somebody tell Ron Funches at Ron Funches. That's RON
Funches.
FUNCHES. That was good, guys. But anyway, so it's like they're trying to replace these guys, and it's laughable.
We're going to take 2 of our top guys and give you 7 of these draft picks. Go ahead.
Meet and greet for StarCast.
Come on, you got Booker T as a 2-time Hall of Famer.
Yep. Bret Hart, 2-time Hall of Famer. They have him too.
Yeah. We're going to take back the guys that can still wrestle, though.
Yeah. It's like people like everything. Yeah, we're done.
Done?
Yeah, we're done.
No more wrestling stuff?
No, there's nothing that's worth
Kushida made his debut tonight.
Yeah, and
I didn't watch it, though.
I'm not going to spoil it for anyone. He may have made somebody tap.
He was
With the hoverboard
Cassius
thing.
Ono.
KO got.
They're going to go back in time, and he's going to come back as Chris Hero.
Speaking of which, the Evolve people have Cassius Ono and Adam Cole coming to the Livonia Evolve show.
Wow.
And it's May 17th. Is it May 17th?
No, next.
That's
Friday.
the same weekend as Comic-Con?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Oh, it's 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Adam Cole's going to be there?
Yep. Adam Cole is the Friday night. Will be there wrestling on Friday night. And no, May 10th. I'm sorry. It's the weekend before.
So next Friday.
Yeah, next Friday. I have that night requested off, so I'm going to that. We might be having one of the women coming on to the show soon. I will let everyone know. We'll post it on our Twitter and our Instagram. Make sure you're following us on our Facebook as well. At BDRcast on all of that, and we'll have it posted up when we can have confirmation. We're just waiting to get an email back from their media director. He sent us the email, and can't fucking wait. Can't wait! Ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Make sure you're following us on all of our wonderful social media. Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, YouTube. BDRcast, Breaking Down the Ring. We are your ring crew.
Nick.
The whole fucking Joe.
And me, the all blacky ones, Mighty Mikey himself. Ladies and
Mikey.
gentlemen, we are out.